everyone, so today's video is going to be the end of the year book tag. Now I usually don't film book tags because I really struggle to remember the questions, but this book tag only has like 6 questions, which isn't too much, and I feel like the questions are quite short. So yeah, I'm gonna try it anyways. If you see more editing than usual in this video, it's because I keep forgetting what the next word of the question is. So yeah, that's why you might see like more editing than usual in this video. I'm also gonna tag the person down below, like the booktuber who like reminded me that this tag existed. So yeah, I'm gonna tag that person down below. Thank you so much for like reminding me that this tag existed. I am filming it slightly too late because as I'm filming this, it's already like the end of November. And I feel like people usually film this in like October or something. So yeah, I'm very late with this, but I thought I would still film it anyway. So yeah, let's just get into all of these like questions. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you haven't finished yet and that you still like want to finish by the end of the year? And to that, I only have like one book basically that I do still want to finish, and that is this book. This is like a collection of works by Kafka, and yeah, this is like a very big book. It's like 700 pages, I think. Okay, so today was probably not the best way to decide to film because the sun keeps like disappearing and then coming back, and it's really like screwing up like the lighting in this video. So I hope it didn't just become like all bright again because the sun just appeared again, and I'm not gonna check it again because if it has like ruined the lighting again, I'm literally gonna stop filming this video. I'm not even joking. So yeah, but yeah, this is one of the books I do want to finish before the end of the year. I still have like a month and a half to finish this book, and I have like 300 pages left, I think, of it, which is pretty good because, like I said, it is like a 700-page book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't really been enjoying it that much, but like it's still pretty decent, and it was quite cheap when I bought it. Even though it is like 700 pages, it was like really cheap, so I was like, why not? So yeah, I guess it's okay that like I didn't enjoy it that much, or I'm not enjoying it that much, I guess. So yeah, let's get into the next question now. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book that you want to read to transition into the end of the year? And I picked The Third Love. I feel like the cover of this book is quite like an autumnal like vibe. Yeah, I don't know if I'm describing that well. Again, I also don't know if the lighting is still good because I feel like I'm kind of now like blocking the sun with the book. So yeah, this video is like a whole mess, but I'm still gonna see if I can finish it today. So yeah, I feel like this book, I don't know if the subject is very autumnal, but the cover is, to me at least, like the green and stuff like that. I feel like that's very like autumnal. I also tried like dressing a bit autumnal because I saw this question was on like this like tag, so I tried to like match the theme, I guess. But yeah, I feel like this book might be an autumnal book. I don't know if it actually is, but the cover does give that vibe. So yeah. The next question is, do you have a new release that you're still waiting for? And I really don't. Like, I don't really follow new releases that like closely. I usually just like walk into a bookstore and I look at the books that are there, and I look at like the new release section, and I just go, oh, that book has been released already. And then I pick up the book and I look at the price tag and I'm like, ooh, that's expensive, and I wait like 2 years to buy it. So yeah, I don't really follow new releases that often, again, because when a book first like gets published and gets like released, I feel like it's very expensive and I don't like spending money. So yeah, I don't tend to like follow new releases that much. I do have like a couple of like releases in mind for like next year that I want to keep like a close eye on to see if I could find that book already like next year for very cheap. But yeah, I don't really follow new releases that often. So yeah. The next question is, what are 3 books that you still want to finish before the end of the year? And the first book is Heaven's Official Blessing. I can't remember what volume I'm holding up, and I also can't remember what volume I'm supposed to read next. I think it's this one. I might be wrong. I just like picked it off my shelf. But yeah, I am currently reading this series, but I stopped reading it because I like was out of like the markers I typically use to like annotate these books. And I always want to like match the cover of the book, and I was out of like this color, I think, like red. So I stopped reading it, like this series, like a couple months ago, but I now finally have like the markers again, so I can start like reading this series again. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I do want to read like one more volume of this series before the end of the year. I can't read like every single one of them because that's like 4 more volumes and these books are very thick. So yeah, this is one of the books that I want to finish before the end of the year. So let me now just pick up the next book. The next book is Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Now I started this book, or rather I started rereading this book at the beginning of the year, and then I stopped like right before the sad part starts, because this book, like, it leads up to a very sad like last section of the book, and I cried really hard the first time that I read this. And even though I do want to reread it, I just don't feel like I'm ready yet for that section. But I do feel like I have to kind of like make myself read this like last section finally, because again, I literally started like rereading this in January and it's November. So I feel like, giving myself almost an entire year time to prepare myself for the emotional damage that it will do to me again, I feel like that's enough. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully finish this book again before the end of the year. So yeah, then the last book is Iron Widow. Now I also started this book already, I think this year, I'm pretty sure. But I stopped reading it because I knew that this ended on like a cliffhanger from like other people talking about it. And so I wanted to wait until I had like a copy of the second book in this series, and I finally do. The reason why I'm pointing here is because it's right here, like the yellow golden book that's here. And yeah, I finally have that book now, so I feel like I can now like read this book finally, so that I can start reading that one. So yeah, again, I only have like 30 pages left of this, I think, so I should be able to finish it before the end of the year. So yeah, the next question is, do you still have a book in mind that you could read before the end of the year that could still shock you and become like a favorite of the year? And I don't really know if I have a book like that. I mean, Third Love, the book that I just showed, I'm not going to pick it up again because my arms really hurt. But Third Love, that book might like shock me still. But like, I don't know if that's going to be a favorite of the year. I feel like I already have like my favorites of the year. Like at this time of year, I feel like it's very rare for me to find a book that I really love still. So yeah, I mean, I might, but I feel like it's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm always open to the idea though. So if a book does shock me, great, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So yeah, then the last question is, do you already have like reading plans for the next year? And I feel like I do. Like I already have like a couple of books I really want to savor for the next year, like I'm gonna put up the book right now. I've completely forgotten the name of it, but this book, it's a book that like my mom got for me when she like visited here. She like bought it for me as like an early birthday present, because like my birthday is in the beginning of December, in case you're wondering. So yeah, this book, I feel like I'm gonna savor it for next year, because like reading it now is gonna feel like I'm rushing it, like I'm rushing to like finish the book before the end of the year, and I can't like savor it. So yeah, that's like a book that I want to keep for next year. And for next year, I also really want to like read more on my e-reader again, because I feel like ever since I like moved here, it's like this more like accessible apartment, I've really been like reading a lot more physical books, which is good because then I make like a dent into like my physical TBR, but like my ebook like TBR, it's not going down like at all. So yeah, I feel like I really have to try and read on my e-reader more. I also feel like I want to try and read like in this chair more often, because I never do that, which might seem weird to y'all because this very much seems like a reading corner, but like this chair is incredibly uncomfortable for me to sit in for long periods of time because of like my chronic pain. Like this chair is just not good. Like it's just not. And I feel like next year I want to see if I can figure out how I can be comfortable in this chair. So yeah, so I can actually become like a reading corner instead of just a filming corner. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to make this chair like more comfortable for me. So yeah, those are like my reading plans for next year. I feel like just reading more ebooks and still reading a lot of physical books and reading books from the library and reading books in more languages than just English. And yeah, just making my life a bit more comfortable when it comes to reading. So yeah, those were all the questions. I'm now gonna just, check the camera again because it just became brighter again. Hopefully it didn't do that in the middle of me talking, but yeah. I'm gonna check the footage again and then I'm gonna end this video. So luckily enough, the lighting still seems fine. It did just become darker all of a sudden as I started talking. So I hope the lighting is now not too dark, but yeah, I'm gonna get through the ending of this video anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I know I don't usually do book tags, but I hope you guys liked it regardless. I'm also sorry for not wearing like my usual amount of makeup because I just didn't have the energy to do it today. I'm also sorry for the slightly dead flowers because I got these flowers last week and then I couldn't film last week. So yeah, I had to like keep them alive for like an entire week and a half, which if you know anything about flowers, that's quite difficult, especially when they're these types of flowers. So yeah, I hope you guys like them regardless. I quite like the color of them. Not very autumnal, but yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. I know it was probably like a bit of a mess with like the lighting and me looking ugly and all that, but yeah, I hope you guys liked it regardless. Tell me down below like your like reading plans for the next year, I guess. So yeah, thank you for watching and bye.